So we just finished watching Roy fail. He decided that he was going to sneak in and attack the dragon head on. He was going to rush into the cave and attack without telling the princess because he didn't want her to be risked in the fight. He wanted to protect her and keep her safe. That didn't work. He's going to have to try something else. So Roy stumbled out of the cave, only slightly roasted. He had gotten lucky. So he's a little bit burnt. He's lucky that he's not all burned. The princess stood at the mouth of the cave, shaking her head. Your plan will never work without me. She said. Remember, whenever you have someone talking, you need to use quotation marks. You see how I use them there? Princess has just told him, plan's not going to work without me. So now we see he's failed. Now they're going to move on. She's already showing him a different way where she's involved. You can provide a great distraction but you need me to get by the dragon. Roy nodded, and they moved into the cave together. So now we have a different plan happening. It moves quickly. I could have them go out and plan for a while, but I don't want to take more pages. I want to get it done on this page. So what I'm starting to do is I'm just going to have them move right in. You'll notice I already had a lot of writing, right? Just when he came out, realizes he's failed, the princess came, said, you need my help. That was their planning process, okay? Princess tells him, you need me to do this. You'll distract, I'll get by. You can put more into the planning for the second attack, but because you want the pace or the rate of your story, things happening fairly fast, you might want to skip some of that. Princess moved ahead of Roy, and Roy started to yell a challenge to the dragon. I know you are too scared to come and fight me. Come out of your hole and we will see who is better. Alright. So there we have the challenge. It's getting intense, right? See him challenging the dragon. The dragon roared. And Roy saw. Okay, so here's one thing with detail. If you can have your main character see it, it's a little more real than if you just say that it happens, right? So Roy saw the cave grow bright with fire. The dragon came out to fight. Alright. Roy threw his spear. We're going to have some action now. Spear at the dragon. But it's just glanced off its or his hide. Roy drew his sword and hid behind his shield. All he had to do was hold off the dragon until the princess could save the king. So we see a very different plan. Here he's not trying to defeat the dragon. All he wants to do is hold it off, distract it, while the princess saves the king. He's focusing more on his goal and less on the heroics of killing the dragon. The dragon covered him in fire. But he got behind his shield just in time. When the fire stopped, Roy swung his sword and cut off one of the dragon's claws. It barely hurt him. Then the dragon lunged forward, trying to bite his head off. Roy jumped out the way and fell on his back. Okay, so it's still desperate, right? Still a very close fight, still very scary for them. Roy looked over and saw the princess sneak past with the king. Roy said, "Oh, dragon, you are too great for me. Now I retreat." Roy fled the cave with the dragon following. He jumped behind a rock and hid. The dragon went past. Roy snuck off. He had done his job. This page is obviously a lot longer. If that happens in your story and you write a page that you're thinking is just a bit too long, maybe we'll edit this when we're typing it up and turn it into 2 pages before you draw it out. But that is the climax. That is the big action scene in my story.